Welcome back to Voice from the Corner. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all safe. Now, Pete, we had a cracking card Saturday night. Dillian Whyte versus Jermaine Franklin. Let's start off with the co-main event. We had Fabio Wardley taking on Nathan Gorman, and we had a little bet for it. I said Fabio Wardley would win. You said Nathan Gorman would win, and just want to know how you're feeling.
Well, firstly, long neck, take that smile off your face because I'm not too happy. I got a couple of fights wrong last night, the Saturday night. I predicted them wrong. Started well on Friday with Harlem Eubank. I got it bang on Harlem Eubank. He was in a little bit sticky water in the fourth round, but a good win for Harlem Eubank. Again, Tom Farrell was always there and he was in the fight. So fair play to him as well. He can come again. I think he's just picking the right fights for him. Bit too young and a bit too sprightly for Tom Farrell, Harlem Eubank. Firstly, before we start, shout out to Terence Colt Clothing. Sent me some lovely gear here. Hopefully get long necks soon, some roll necks and things off Terence Colt Clothing.
Yes.
Get onto their Instagram. Global Green CBD. If you're suffering from a bit of anxiety or stress or anything like that, get onto Global Green CBD. Again, great to have these two people on board. We'll go on now to the Gorman versus Wardley fight. Again, I was wrong. And I know Jack done a live and was laughing his head off on there. You know, I've got to do a forfeit. And I think the forfeit's to eat a hot chili. But I'm trying to get a hot chili, but Jack said, no, you wait till I get you one. We're going to get you one off Amazon. A pure, powerful chili. So, yeah, the fight with Gorman. Gorman started well. Good first round.
He had the first round, didn't he?
Yeah, very good first round. But listen, a fight's 12 rounds, not one round. And, you know, Wardley showed his mettle in the second round. Come back, got cut. He was cut bad. But as soon as he tasted blood, he was like a shark. He attacked and, you know, absolutely took Gorman apart. Gorman survived the second round, but got knocked out in the third round. I thought Gorman was sitting too long on the ropes. And in the end, it looked like to me, he was just waiting to be hit with that shot to get knocked out. You know, he was on top in the first round, as we say. But as champions do, champions come back and they do what they do best and take the person out of their rhythm. I definitely think Wardley's a fighter to look out for. Comment from Eddie Hearn at the end of the fight saying that people talk about amateur pedigree. I disagree with that totally, saying that, you know, it ain't about amateur pedigree. You know, we get the odd fighter this happens to. We had like Lee Purdy many years ago. But we're talking at British level here. We're not talking at world level when these fighters start moving up and fighting people with actual pedigree from the amateurs. You get the odd fight slip through the net, as I say. So I totally disagree with that thing that Eddie Hearn said there, because all we're going to end up doing is getting a million more YouTubers turn pro if it comes to it. You know, we don't really need amateur pedigree. You know, Fabio Wardley is definitely a natural fighter. He's got it within himself. And listen, I believe people are born that way. But I do believe polishing them up as amateurs makes a big difference when you fight at a higher level. And when you look at elite fighters, there's no fighter that's become an elite fighter from having no amateur pedigree. That's the top and bottom of it, Eddie Hearn. So I thought I'd put you in your place there.
Hang on, you said during that time though that Nathan Gorman won the first round. Where was the turning point in that fight for you? What changed it all?
Well, the turning point was when Wardley started throwing back, as though like, yeah, now it's my turn. And it was one of them ones. It was like, I didn't think he was going to start throwing back at me after I've offloaded all the punches I've been offloading on you. And it just showed a difference. And do you know what? You see the difference in the power as well. And he sure can whack Wardley. And do you know what? He's an exciting fighter because he was hurt in that second round as well. And it just shows when he was hurt, he's dangerous. And it's a little bit like Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn was the same. He'd be hurt. But when he was hurt, that's when he was at his dangerousest. And
he busted his nose for Wardley, didn't he? His nose was completely busted open.
And I think that's what we see, and that's what I think we see big time in that fight. That you know, and that's where you see balls and art, and he definitely showed balls and art, and congratulations to Wardley. Nathan Gorman, for me, where does he go from here? I don't think he goes anywhere. You know, I think he should call it a day, in my opinion. You know, I believe he thought he was going to be a British champion and be beyond British level, but for me, I think he's seen his best days.
Yeah, like 26 years old. It's still. I mean, I don't think he's going to retire, but he's still. There's still a few exciting fights he could have.
He's not. Listen, he's not a good enough fighter to sort of even carry fighters or get through fights because he gets it too easy, in my opinion. And once Fabio started throwing, he could not miss Nathan. That's the top and bottom of it.
Well, go on. And speaking about Fabio Wardley, where do you think he goes from here?
I'd like to see him in with David Adelaide. I know David Adelaide's been very vocal about, don't even put Gorman in the same room as me. Don't even put Gorman in the same sentence as me. Fabio Wardley's waiting, tough and pretty for you, David Adelaide. And you want the British title. He's got the British title. Let's make this fight happen. It's not an hard fight to make happen. We see it the other day, which was beautiful with John Ryder and Joe Parker. And Parker, Zach Parker. We see that, he's a matchroom fighter, the zone fighter, and he went on BT Sport. So why can't we see either way round for the Fabio Wardley fight? And I can see Fabio Wardley, David Adelaide, if it happens, on the zone, because I believe Eddie Hearn's going to put, a lot of work into Fabio Wardley now. We see one fighter diminishing on that show, and we see one fighter increasing on that show, in my opinion. Fabio Wardley is definitely one to watch out for, and Dillian Whyte is definitely one to call it a day. That's the top and bottom of it.
Yeah, look, it's important for baby steps for Fabio Wardley, not to rush him into anything, and not like we did with Dubois, just rush him into a fight with someone like Joe Joyce. Just baby steps for Fabio Wardley, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. Let's go to the main event. Dillian Whyte, Jermaine Franklin. Now, it was controversial. It obviously went to a decision. Dillian Whyte won by a majority decision. One judge had it by a draw, and the other two had Dillian Whyte winning very convincingly. First off, what did you think to those scorecards?
Well, listen, like I say, I watched the fight and I watched the, how much Dillian Whyte has absolutely, fell to pieces to a degree. I didn't really look at the scorecards. I didn't really score the fight. I was looking at the performance of Dillian Whyte because we was all looking at a big fight with Joshua. They put him in there, Jermaine Franklin, cut and punch, put his punches together well, but cut and punch. He was hitting Dillian Whyte clean with 2 and 3 punches. There was no movement in Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte was hitting him on the chin, and there was no movement till the last shot, which was a forearm shot in the last round. A left hook, what they made a big drama about. We see him bouncing backwards with his tits wobbling up and down. Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin, although he's an unbeaten fighter, I always say records are for DJs. Nobody on his record whatsoever. I'm not taking away that he showed heart in there, but how much heart did he really have to show? How much did Dillian Whyte really have left? We talk about, the interviewer afterwards turned around and said to him, "Do you think this sells an Anthony Joshua fight?" In this day and era. In this day and era, I think a lot of things can sell. That's the problem. I think a lot of things can sell. But not for me, not as a boxing fan. But I was talking to someone about this the other day. We all know people are boxer fans now. They all stand behind Dillian Whyte. We had our own people on the channel. One of the new members on the channel saying that, I'd like to see him call it a day now. He's given some good nights. And he's thinking about the man's health. But people who are in the business don't care about the man's health, you know what I mean? And, Dillian Whyte, all that once it's all over, mate, you never hear that word again. And no disrespect, but if he ends up in a home or something because he don't even know what he's saying, which I hope don't ever happen, and I hope don't ever happen to any other fighter again, but it's inevitable, it's going to happen to certain fighters. And or not knowing his own name, or not knowing his own kids, or, for me, that means more. That means more than fighting Joshua again and having another payday. He's surely secure now. Is he or is he not? I don't know. Be honest, tell us if you are secure.
Surely it's secure, yeah.
Surely, but a lot of them say they're secure, and then before you know it, they're skint again, and they got no money. And
yeah, Dillian's not like a flashy bloke, is he? He's not out there buying a shit ton of cars and shit ton of jewellery.
Yeah. But what we're seeing though, Jack, here is we hear it all the time that you know, and then all that happens then is right. Oh, you know what? He got paid massive money. We hear it off the promoters and all that. He got paid massive money, but when we really find out, he won't get as much money as what they say they're getting. So pay-per-views, pay-per-poos, whatever you want to call them. You know, he was topping them. He done 5 or 6 of them. And Tyson Fury publicly come out and said the biggest payday that Dillian Whyte had ever had at that point was £300,000. That's madness, really, because surely they would have grossed a lot more than £300,000. So who is getting the money?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's robbery considering the fact that he's
because the undercard definitely ain't getting that money, are they?
No.
You know, Dillian Whyte's a fans' favourite. Derek Chisora's a fan's favourite. Do you know what I mean? So why are them pay-per-views not? They're grossing a lot more than what they're saying, but where is the money going? You know, let's be honest here.
Okay, let's have a look at the potential fight, though. Look, you mentioned Dillian Whyte and Joshua. For me personally, I'd rather see a rematch between him and Jermaine Franklin again. This time,
I'd rather see a rematch between him and Jermaine Franklin. And do you know what? I'd rather see Jermaine Franklin against Anthony Joshua because he's more sprightly, he's much more fresher. Yeah, nowhere near as good. He didn't even beat him at Dillian Whyte at his worst, but he still is more sprightly than Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is on the deplete. Tyson Fury fight. Someone said about the Rivas fight. After the Rivas fight, he was on the slide. People say about him leaving Mark Tibbs. 11 fights, 11 wins. Why did he leave Mark Tibbs? The reason why fighters leave trainers is because they want cheerleaders and backslappers. You know, Mark Tibbs is a boxing man. You know, had a good amateur pedigree, good pro pedigree, as well as having the tutorage of his dad, Jimmy Tibbs, the legend Jimmy Tibbs. So, you know, at the end of the day, people like smoke blown up their ass, and we hear people talking about it all the time. But when you get to that level, you know, pay-per-view, pay-per-poo, whatever you want to call it, you get to that level, you know, you want smoke blown up your ass, and that's the truth of it. And people's egos take over what they're really doing. That's the top and bottom of it, Jack.
Okay, right. Well, we seem to have covered it all, really. Is there any last things you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to go over a couple of the cards on the Saturday night. Firstly, the top of the bill on the Friday night, Eubank versus Farrell. Yeah. You know, it was a good fight for Channel 5. We've got another one coming up next week. You know, Troy Williamson against Josh Kelly. Cracking fight. We're going to get no publicity over that. So we're going to try and push it on Voice from the Corner. You're not going to see much. It's a terrestrial TV fight. Free to air. Brilliant. Lovely. Back on boxing. And I think it's a good fight. Good match fight. I'll be putting my prediction out for that. Well, I won't be. I'll be putting my prediction out to the members of the channel. So when they get their little winnings, remember, bet responsibly with Paddy Power. That's the top and bottom of it. But, you know, yeah, so go to the members. So if you want to become a member on the channel, Jack will tell you how to do that at the end of this video. If you want the predictions of myself, Prediction Pete. Had a bad week last week, so the bookies would have made money out of me this week. But believe me, I'm back on.
I would have made some money. So.
Yeah, Jack would have made some money. So you can listen to Long Neck's prediction even if you want to take his prediction. You know, we've only started this week, so we've got the forfeit very soon. And with Jack, you know, Jack's going to get me that chili. We're going to have to get that chili sorted out, but we will do it on there. So that'd be good.
And as well, if you want to be voting for what forfeit you'd like to see, go follow us on Instagram because we put on our story 2 different options. Pete was either going to have to eat a chili or eat a spider. And you lot voted for chili. So if you want to be a part of those votes, follow us on Instagram at Voice from the Corner. You can see it down below just there.
Yeah, obviously Saturday night, we'll go on to Saturday night's card. You know, funny enough, we had boxing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not too much about the Sky card. It was a Sunday afternoon. Yeah. New interesting thing to do. Here and Adam Smith's gone as well from Sky. That's another comment. That's another debate we'll have during this week. we'll keep
Really?
doing news during this week, people. Saturday night, obviously the top of the bill, Dillian Whyte, Jermaine Franklin. It was still an entertaining fight to the armchair fan because you know it was our 50-50 fight, wasn't it? It shouldn't have been, but it was our 50-50 fight. But if you know what you're talking,
difficult to call those rounds were.
yeah, listen, if you know what you're talking about and you can see what's going on, you see that, one fighter's depleting terribly in that fight. Chief support, Nathan Gorman, Fabio Wardley, the 3 rounds it was there for. It was an exciting fight, so that was good. Credit where credit's due in that fight. Over on BT Sport, we see Dennis McCann, 8th round stoppage. Good win for him. Great feat. Great distance. Couple of things he needs to improve on. I'll speak to Dennis, so I'll give him a little phone call during this week. We also had top of the bill, John Ryder versus Zach Parker. Thought it was going to be a lot better fight than what it was. Got that one absolutely wrong. I know Ryder well. I always say how methodical and how good he is at what he does. But I just fancied a different tipple in that fight. But for me, whether you break your hand, your foot, your knee, whatever, you're swallowing, in my opinion, if you want to get out of there. In a final eliminator for the Canelo's belts. For me, he wanted out of there. The pressure got put on. It was too hot in the kitchen, and he wanted to get out. That's the top and bottom of it for that fight. So we'll leave it there. Jack will tell you how you become a member on the channel. Thanks for all your support. Please keep subscribing. Please keep supporting. And we will carry on this week. Happy Monday, everyone. Have a great day. That's the top and bottom of it.
Sweet. And look, if you want to become a member, there is a join button down below. It might be next to the subscribe button. It might be on the other side. But there is a join button down below this video. All you got to do is click join. Then you see what different perks we offer. And then you just get the subscription. Feel free to do it. We'll very much appreciate anyone that's happy to become a member and give back to the channel a little bit. So just really hope there's people there that want to join. Is that all right then, Pete? Everything? Sweet. We'll see you all later. Cheers.